Morning guys, today I'm going to have a bit of a shave with one of my favourite scented products of all time. Something you may be familiar with, you may not, you'll certainly be familiar with the brand as long as you've not been living in a shell for the last however many years, and it's a lot of years. This company has been around since 1805, I do believe. The company is Truefitt Hill, and the product I'm using today is 1805. It's a fantastic cream. As you'll see, it comes in a fantastic box. Inside said box is your typical Truefitt Hill pot, and it's a big pot. This is 190 grams or 6.7 ounces in English money, and as you can see, it's simple, very simple pot, just black. I think it's double walled. Nicely sort of silk screen printed on top there with the Royal Warrant, as you may notice. They are by appointment to His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh, the hairdressers. So they do the hairdressing for Prince Philip, and I dare say they probably do a very good job of hairdressing. Now, as for the shave cream, do they do a good job? Yes, they do. It's very nice. It's heavily glycerin based, which provides a nice slick and comfortable shave. But the best thing for me about 1805 is the scent. Now, if you're not familiar with it in any way, shape or form, it's difficult to describe. Now they describe it as spicy with a bit of cardamom in there. I don't think they really mention anything on the box about what scent it is. Just confirm that. No, they don't. They do not. All they do say is, Francis Truefitt first established his gentleman's hairdressing and perfumery business in 1805, the year of Nelson's victorious battle at Cape Trafalgar. It doesn't really tell you anything about the scent, but the age of the company may give something away. It's very old school, very elegant, very classy scent. Now, I read a review once before I bought the product, as it happens, that described it as a scent that invoked memories of times gone by when men could be held by their word and that honour was everything, and they're not wrong. It's a brilliant, brilliant description of the scent in that sense. But what does it smell like? Well, there is something spicy, there is something clean and familiar. Now, I say familiar because it's a perfect match. I'm just going to go into my little cupboard here, so excuse the noise. It's a perfect match for Issey Miyake and the L'Eau d'Issey. I've probably pronounced that entirely wrong. So that's the aftershave emulsion, which will be used today, and that's the cologne, which I've not got a lot left in that bottle, so I'll have to have another. But yes, if you're familiar with the Issey scent, you'll be familiar with 1805. So I'll just pop these down over here out of the way so I don't drop them. What I'll definitely use, I'll throw them back in the cupboard. But yes, back to 1805. That's what it looks like. It's a fairly well used pot, this now. It's a soft cream, and you don't really need to pull loads of it into your brush to get a fantastic shave. So, speaking of the shave, we are going to be using 1805 cream today. We are going to be lathering it in my trusty shaving room bowl, as always. We will be using the Razor Rock Bazooka with an Astra Superior Platinum blade in. Now this blade is part of my blade challenge month, could well be a month again. And the last SP I used, I managed to get 30 days worth of shaving, so that's 30 days of 3-pass shaves, 90 passes plus cleanup, not bad. And it was still comfortable. And the brush of the day is one of my Cadman silver tips, 26mm. I've just squeezed most of the water out of that, so we're ready to go. I've already hot toweled my face, so we're all nice and prepared. And we're going to go load up some cream. Now you don't need to go mental because it's quite soft. Certainly no kind of loading like you would a soap. And I'd say that there in the tips, a little bit more just to play it safe, is enough. I'm going to take it to the bowl and start whipping it up. And as you start whipping a lather, oh, the scent is wonderful. It's that slightly clean, spicy scent that just lingers up your nose, invokes those memories of olden days, pre-Queen Vic, when honour was paramount and your word was your bond. And what do we get? Well, I've not added any additional water yet because the badger brushes hold a fair amount and it whips up quite quick. Well, creams do, as I'm sure you'll know. Just beats it slightly to the side to side, as opposed to a complete swirling action, just to push it out of the brush and into the bowl. What have we got? We've got thick, gloopy lather. Now, wants a bit more water, so I'm just going to add a few drops. I don't want to go mental because, again, I don't want to make it go too runny and ruin the lather, because if you've not used an 1805 scented product, you'll know, well, you won't know, if you have used it, I should say, you'll know it's a wonderful scent, and you'll know that the creams are great. And they give you a lovely, lovely shave, and you don't want to lose that beautiful scent. There we go. Rich, creamy lather. Now, I haven't loaded too much into the brush because I don't want to waste it, because it's so nice, and it is not cheap. I think it's about £17 for the pot, so I like to let's go fairly economical with it. So there we go. There's enough in the brush and in the bowl for a decent 3-pass shave, maybe more. So, excuse me. What we're going to do, we're going to lather up in the usual manner, and then we're going to proceed to the 3-pass shave. But before I do, I'm just going to dunk the razor in the water to get it a little bit warm, because we like it nice and warm on the face. So, spicy, slightly aquatic type scents. And you'll notice I start the lathering off with a swirl and then I paint. Gets a nice even coat, and I find that even if you lather a little bit thin when you've mixed it, this painting method, certainly with these cadmium brushes, seems to help thicken it up. Something to try if you make your lather a little bit thin one day. Not that this is in any way thin, but it's a little tip of the day for you. So there we go. We are lathering. We have excess removed. And we're going to invoke the curse, because on video I tend to get weepers. Let's see, shall we? Now, first pass, as always, with the grain, and that is slick. Stupidly slick. In fact, let's show you. Yeah, nice and slick. I'm just going to go back to the mirror so I don't slice my sideburns off. There we go. Rinse off because there's a lot of lather there. So, how are we all doing this week, chaps? And ladies, if you're watching, good week. Mine was busy, very busy at work, preparing for the new football season. Don't know if you know, but I work for a company that provides ticketing systems to sports clubs, to music venues, to all sorts. And we're always busy. It never stops. Whilst we're on the topic of sport, you may or may not notice, if you're a rugby fan, this here shirt. Saracens. Best team bar none in the English Premiership. And in Europe, for that matter, chaps. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Any rugby fans? Any football fans? Any fans of any obscure sports? Let me know. So, first pass complete. Slick, very slick. Plenty of cushion. You could quite happily use that with a straight and an aggressive razor and not really experience any issues. Oh. Now, you could quite happily sit there, nose in the bowl and brush all day and not get bored, because it's a wonderful, classy, gentlemanly scent. As it stands, it's only the second teenage soap that I've got. Cream, should I say. The other, you'll see another day. There we go. Second pass. Across the grain to achieve further beard reduction. Some people may not bother with an across the grain pass. I like to, because I like to go with the grain, across the grain, and then against the grain, because that way I get a comfortable shave without too much drama. So here we go. I've said this before, I have awkward growth that wanders around my face. At any angle it pleases. It doesn't really care too much for my desire to have a nice shave, so we go with what we can. Now, as you shave, you get that wonderful clean scent wafting around. It's bliss. True bliss. And I think when you're using a high-end product such as a Truefitt Hill, you expect that extravagant angle to a scent. You expect high performance, and you get it. And you get it in abundance. The scent was one of my first wow factors in a shaving product, and it continues to have that effect to this day, and yeah, I won't be without it. Now, I've not tried the hard soap version, but I dare say it's just as good. So, do it, try it, you'll love it. If you love the Issy, you'll love this. And the shave is always comfortable with Truefitt Hill creams. I've yet to have an unpleasant shave with one. So, it's getting dark outside. It's going to rain. So, just going to have a bit of a rinse off, because it's very, very slick on the face. Stupidly slick. Now my camera is giving me a warning. It's telling me I'm almost out of memory. Welcome back, chaps. I'm that kind of guy that I don't want to give you an incomplete video. No. You may have heard me say in the first segment that I've run out of space on my memory card and I couldn't finish the video. But that's not what I'm about. I like to give you the complete experience. So I went and deleted some videos. And we are here after pass 2. We have the against the grain pass to go. Now we're still using the same products. We're still using the cadmium brush and the 1805 cream that's just got itself on my nose. And we're still using the Razor Rock Bazooka with the Extra Superior Platinum Blade, and it's still getting dark outside because it's going to rain again. Where is our summer? So, for the third and final pass, as you can see I've got a brush full. I've got plenty in the bowl still. Not as much as some, but I've been light on load because I love the cream and I don't want to waste it by pouring any remaining lather down the sink. So, for the third and final pass, I'm going to lather up in the same manner as before. Swirl away. Paint it on. Got to have a never say die attitude. Can't quit partway through a video because memory cards run out. No, we cannot do that because that's not the British way. We don't give up. We go on to the end. Razor. Third and final pass against the grain, which incidentally is normally an uncomfortable pass with a lesser product. Not with this. No. The high levels of glycerin create oil slick levels of glide. Which, if you're using an aggressive razor, is superb. I've used this with shavettes, and the glide is essential with a shavette. If you've never used one, you'll know, or if you have used one, why do I keep saying that? If you've ever used a shavette, you'll know they can bite, and they can bite hard because they use just a half double-edged blade. And there's no weeping so far. I've probably just jinxed it. I'm probably going to get a load now. However, yes, shavettes can bite hard if you're not careful. And with a cream such as this, you'll get epic amounts of glide, which will negate a lot of the risk. You still need to be extremely aware of what you're doing. No cream or soap will protect you against carelessness. It won't protect you against the razor sharp blades that you're using. So be aware, be careful, take your time, and you'll be fine. Look at that. Get all the way to the end and I get a little weeper. One there and one there. Never mind. Never mind. So, that's the third pass complete. I'm going to wipe my face with my old blue towel. just to clean up. I see I'm suffering my usual issue with these little tunnels. Cream in there. Never mind, we'll deal with that later. So, what do we think of 1805 as a cream? Well, the scent is amazing. I think I've covered that enough. I could wax lyrical about the scent all day. Performance. The Glide is probably the best of any cream I've got. In fact, it is the best of any cream I've got. I've got creams ranging from Truefitt Hill through to Taylor & Old Bond Street, to your budget brands like Ingram's, to Erasmic, and probably a bit of everything in between I've tried in one form or another. It's super slick. Even now there are high levels of residual slickness all over my face, which has to be the glycerin. It's phenomenally slick. Cushion, there's plenty there. If you whip it up slightly thicker with a bit more cream up front, you'll get absolute stacks of cushion, and that can't be denied. It's great, and I've used it with a Mueller R41 to great effect. That's quite an aggressive razor. I think mine was the one I used. It wasn't the most aggressive. I think it was a 2011 model. That was hyper aggressive. This was the slightly newer, slightly tamer version, but still an aggressive razor by most standards, and it coped with that fine. No drama at all. It copes with shavettes fine, again providing you give them the due care and attention they deserve, and it copes more than adequately with the Bazooka. Now the Bazooka, for a regular DE head, it's got quite a bit of blade exposure, and I like that because it is slightly more aggressive than my 39C from Mercure, and as a result I need a cream or a soap that is protective against this. Now see if I can shake the blade. May or may not show very well. There's a fair bit of exposure going on, and the cream coats perfectly with an aggressive blade in an aggressive razor. Post-shave feel with 1805 is superb. I have no real gripes there at all. There are other products that I find slightly better, probably because they contain lanolin and there's tallow involved, but as 1805 for what it is, I cannot fault it in any way, shape or form really. The scent is fantastic, the glide is fantastic, the cushion is superb, post-shave feel is really good, and yes, it gives you a close, comfortable shave. No qualms. So, would I buy it? Again, well, I've obviously bought it once. I felt that about £17 was on the strong side for a cream, but you get 190 grams in your pot, 6.7 ounces. It's a lot more cream than say your Taylor & Old Bond Street, which comes in about 40 grams lighter. So yes, you get a bit more for your money. Do you get 17 quid's worth? Yes, I think you do. You're buying the experience of T&H as well as the cream, and it is a good experience. It's a great experience at all. Well, overall, it's fantastic. I wouldn't complain at all at paying £17 for this. I would buy another one, and I'd probably buy some different scents in the range, just for a little bit of variety, because we all like variety with our shaving, don't we, chaps? And that's why we spend horrendous amounts of money having a massive rotation of soaps and brushes and razors and blades and aftershaves and colognes and sprays, and the list goes on. So, this has been 1805. I've been me, and try some.